Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'll show you a very easy method to paint poppies. So let's start with today's video. With the help of pencil, we need to create a basic guideline for ourselves for the flowers basically. So you can keep different perspective. Drawing poppy is very simple. I have already created a separate video. If you want, you can get a link into my description section for that as well. But for now, you need to understand, you need to create the center part of the flower, a round shape, and then around it you can create either 2 or 3 petals. These are inner petals, and then out of that you can create 2 or 3 more, and those are outer petals. The size of the petals may vary, so you can keep couple of petals bigger, couple of petals smaller, and that's the only difference we need to do. When I'm saying we need to create a guideline with the help of pencil, we are roughly doing it. We are not going to follow anything like that, but just for guideline purpose we can create something like this, so that we can also see the composition, where we can keep flowers, where we can keep flower buds, all those things, and multiple leaf around it. So this is the basic guideline that I have created. I think we should create one more flower here. So again, I'm creating the center part, 3 petals around it, very close to each other, overlapped kind of petals you can say, and 2 petals outer to that. Now let's rub all the unwanted pencil mark and make sure you're able to see a little bit of it, because this is the guideline, right? So we need to see this. Now we can start with the painting. So I'm using this violet color. Using violet color or purple color is something you can definitely do whenever you are working on orange or red kind of color in watercolor, because this is the opposite of red color, and this is basically good for shadowing purpose. So we need couple of area little darker, and in this way we can have more depth into our painting. So with the help of this particular color, you can just create an outline for the petal area. When I'm saying outline, that does not has to be very fine outlining. I'm creating some thicker line and some fine line both. Basically roughly doing all these things, as you can see. Utilizing my brush to create some thicker outline and then creating some fine line. I also have some negative space. So I'm seeing the petal structure, but I am not filling the whole area with this particular color. I'm just going through the petal area and creating something like this. Now I can see the petal area better, as you can see. Now you need to repeat the same thing for all the flowers that you have. So again, I'm doing it roughly, as you can see. Couple of them are bigger, couple of them are smaller. Basically you will get an idea in this particular step how your flower gonna look like. So something like this you can do for all the flowers that you have. Do not stress over this particular step. As I said, it is very simple to paint. So do it as per your instinct and just create an outline roughly with this particular color. Now I'm mixing lemon yellow and cobalt blue color to create green color. You can have your own green, you can directly use green color from the palette, totally fine. Just go around the flower bud area and the stem area. So for the flower bud we need an oval shape, so you can roughly do something like this, and then a little structure at the tip of this particular oval shape. So you can have a little zigzag pattern to create a cap kind of structure. Now you can mix more blue to create darker shade. So totally up to you what kind of shade you needed for the leaf and for the stem. I'm creating one stem each for all the flower buds and flowers. So you can have your own composition like this. You can have more flowers, more flower buds. Those things you can definitely try by your own, or you can have a reference photo from the Google as well. That is also fine. So create stems. I'm using fine brush, so do not create very thick stem. Fine stem is totally fine. And Okay, I did this one little thicker, so I need to fix this. But don't worry, we are going to fix it. I'm lifting a little bit of color from that particular area to make it a little lighter, and I'm going to add more leaves around that area so that we can hide the mistake. Now with the help of more darker color, I have mixed more blue into it. I'm going through the stem area again, creating lines to make it more darker and to get little extra pattern around it. Now I'm creating some curves around the flower bud as well, like these. You can do the same thing for second flower bud as well. So this pattern is something we needed for the flower bud. Now with the help of green color, you can mix more yellow to make it lighter. You can mix more blue to make it darker. And around the stem area, you need to create multiple leaves. Poppy leaves are simple. It is more like a deep serrated leaf. So you can combine multiple strokes together to have serration and to have a leaf kind of pattern. So no rule as such. Just combine a little bigger stroke and smaller stroke, and also have some serration around the edge. You can have deep serration, light serration, those things you can try by your own. And you don't have to do it in a similar way. You can have different pattern of leaf like I'm doing. So let's do one more. So I'm mixing more blue to make it a little darker because this is more on the yellow side. So you can choose different kind of green for sure. And we're not done with the flowers yet. So once done with all these things, we are going to finish our flower. Now I'm using very light shade of green color going around the center part of the flower because we are seeing a little bit of green as well into the center part. Now with the help of black color, just go around the center part. We need a black center part of the flower, which I like the most about the poppy flower. So just create a big patch of black around the center. Make sure you are also able to see the little bit of green color in the center. And you can roughly do all these things. Now with the help of lighter shade of red color, so you can have more water and less pigment of color. And you can just go around the inner petals that we have. So this time we need to fill the whole area and make sure you are able to differentiate between the petals. Like in this one, all the petals are connected, but still we can see we have 3 different petals here in the center. You can have fine negative space, totally fine to keep negative space. And this is on the very light side, and because of the violet color, as you can see, we have some shadows as well, which is why we did it. Now same thing we need to do for all the flowers that we have. So all the inner petals which are more connected with the center part and fully visible, those petals we are doing it with the help of lighter shade of red color. To make it light, you need to add more water and less pigment. So that's all the difference between the more darker and the lighter color. And likewise I did all the inner petals. Now for the outer petals, you can add more pigment of color to make it a little darker. Now you can see the difference, right? The outer petal is more darker as compared to the inner. And just fill it. You can have negative space, as I said, if you want to keep, but make sure we are able to see the difference between the petals that we have. Now see, outer petals is little darker, and same thing we need to do for all the flowers that we have. And this way we can define our petals more clearly. Now we can start seeing a poppy flower, right? So you can have back petals very fine and could be very visible, totally up to you based on what kind of perspective you needed. So in this one we have 3 bigger petals which is at the back side, and I'm filling it with the more darker color. Make sure you are using 2 different shades of red for inner and outer petal. Then only you are able to see the difference between these. Otherwise you will end up having a big patch of red color which will not look good. Now for the side perspective, I'm simply adding this red color, and you can have a little bit of black color at the base of this particular flower, because this one is the side one, but we're still seeing the black color at the base. So that is something you can do. Now we are almost done. The last thing what I'm going to do is I'm adding a little bit of violet color into my red to make it more darker, because I need little darker color of red this time. So I have added violet color into the red, into the dark red you can say. And we need to create some outlining for all the petals that we have. We are not filling this color throughout the petal area, but we are creating outlining for all the petals that we have. Likewise, we can have some individual petals clearly visible. So basically what we did with the violet color at the initial stage, we are doing the same thing but with the help of more darker color, and we are going around the edge, creating the edge more visible so that we can see all the petals clearly with more darker color. So if you want, you can have more darker red color for this particular step. And likewise we are going to finish this particular flower, and that's all we needed for the poppy flower. And in the end you can use more black for the center part of the flower. So I'm going to add more dots of black around the center part to make it more visible. So this is the last step we are doing for this particular flower, and we are done with today's video. Hope this video is easy and simple to follow. Please do let me know if you have any kind of feedback for me, and thank you so much for watching. See you all in the next video.